It looks blue-green. And they're glowing anyway.
Care package on the way.
2%? Oh, I met too many people with green eyes.
Care package on the way.
Hello gamers and YouTubers, Eve here, and today I want to talk to you about something that's really serious, and you may not be aware that it's happening, but it is. It's not happening in America, but it's just a matter of time. See, there's this disease that we just became aware of a couple of days ago, and it's getting completely out of control. It's spreading all around Africa, and America's trying to help cure this because we get our resources from Africa. They're one of our allies, and if they are having this disease spread around them, then it's just a matter of time before it comes to us. It's called Ebola, and it's very deadly and highly contagious. It's supposed to make you bleed through open parts of your body, like your ears, your nose, your mouth, and your pores and stuff like that. It's already killed about 900 people in Africa, and it's not like you get to live with it for like a month or so. It kills you in a matter of weeks, and it's really excruciating. America wants to jump in, us Americans, and go to Africa and help these people, but it's really dangerous because bringing back that disease can infect a lot of people here, and we can die too. That's why everybody's so afraid of it. The chances of this happening isn't very likely because we do have a lot more things than Africa does. We have the right equipment, the right resources, we have stuff to contain this thing, and we do have a better chance of curing this thing, or at least containing it, than Africa does. That's why it got so out of hand there, because they don't have the best health care. And that's why us Americans, we want to go in and try to help stop it, because we don't need it spreading around the world. That's a really dangerous disease. The first person suspected of having this disease was a 2-year-old girl. She was a baby, and she died from this at 2 years old. And not only did she die from this, but her family died from it as well, because they had to take care of her. They had to make sure that she was all right. They were worried about her. I mean, she was 2 years old. And then her family died. And while her family was dying, they tried to go to the hospital to get themselves some treatment. And then the doctors died too. The doctors, they spread it to their family, and their family died. This is how contagious this disease is. This is why Americans are trying so hard to stop it, but it's so hard because nobody knows what this is. There's no treatment, there's no cure. They're giving these people things that haven't even been tested on humans. But they seem to be making it work, since there were 2 patients that actually have gotten a little better from this treatment. They were a doctor and a nurse. They were in Africa before this outbreak started, trying to help small diseases and cure those before this whole thing broke out, and they contracted the disease. But they were American citizens, so they were being flown back to America so they can get treatment, because they're for us, they're our people. So they get flown back to America, and they're put in quarantine, and they're getting treatment, you know? And they're doing better. But it was a very reckless decision, since this thing is so dangerous. But there was a man. His name was Patrick Sawyer, and he was an American citizen, but he was African. And he got word that his sister was sick in Liberia with this same disease, and that's where it was most popular, Liberia. So he goes to Africa to try and help his sister, and he takes care of her, and he tries to help her. Sadly, she dies, but he contracted the disease from her, and he flies himself to another part of Africa and infects about 7 people there, 2 of which have died. that's just how easy it is for somebody to transport themselves to another part of the world and start
Why you gonna hide in the corner?
infecting people. He lived here. He could have flown back to us and started infecting people in America. And he had little girls. How sad would that have been? It's really sad though, because this man, he didn't mean any harm. He wanted to go take care of his sister, maybe see her before she died. Even when he was flying to Nigeria, he laid himself flat on the airplane just to avoid contact with any other passengers because he knew he was sick. He didn't know exactly what it was, but he knew that if it was what he thought it was, that he didn't want it to give it to anybody else. He just wanted to go and get treatment. He wanted to get better. That's all. He didn't mean to go and infect everybody else. And it's sad that everybody is being so rude to him, saying that he's disrespectful and inconsiderate. Although it's a shame that he infected so many people while he was trying to live and dies anyway. He didn't mean to do all that. He wanted to be a father and see his children grow up. Like everybody that got this disease, they don't want to die. But how can they live if they don't even have a cure for this thing? The worst part is that for the first week you have it, you don't have any symptoms at all. You won't even know. You could be talking to somebody and they not even being aware that they have it, and then they give it to you that easy. It takes up to 7 to 9 days for you to actually start showing symptoms. That's just crazy. And 3 days later, you're dead. It's that easy and that fast. I think that it's not fair that the good guys always get the worst luck. I mean, they were just trying to help people in Africa, and look what they come back with. The government deciding to bring them back here was really dangerous, but it was only to save their lives. If they wouldn't have came back here, they could have died. But although it was so dangerous, they had to have had a tight hold on it because they haven't infected anyone yet. So they must have it under control. And by under control, I mean keeping it outside of America, this country. They're going to Africa and trying to contain it there. And I don't know how that's going to work out, but I really hope that they get some kind of cure for this thing. This thing is way too serious to have out of control like this, and it's really dangerous. And I'm so sorry for the families that lost people due to this excruciating and painful and dangerous deadly disease. But this has been Eve. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
Oh, I swear